Next 2 weeks archery season, down in the southern zone. I used my muzzle loader tag.
There, you guys can take a seat on the sides,
Now that they've opened up. for the
and you're welcome to have some lunch.
Archery season, I actually have to do the archery certificate now. You can do it online now, but the old days you had to go for a full day and. I've already been hunting with it, guys. Right now, because it's archery season, I have to get a different license. I have to go.
I would say get through all the IDA stuff.
But anyways.
Typical New York, right?
Yes, it is.
I don't know if they have some of that good activity or not.
Oh.
I came up and
What do you
I
mean?
brought up my Pennsylvania one. They have to, that's, because that's where I can put. I got told them off. I said, we better get it before Saturday. He said, I should. Nice whack. But it's just 6 or 7 hours.
Got too much stuff today.
In the backyard. Well, over it.
I see, that's why you're a lawyer. You're a problem solver.
So should your development should it Saranac? We don't even really.
I was gonna say, who would know the difference? Well, crossbow, you can't hear it.
You'll be on the floor quickly.
Oh, you got that. Board that has rim buddies, but they're only 40 yards. It's.
Justin, can you hear us okay?
Baseball bat. It could be. What's the one?
Just this arch job going at, is it just deer usually?
Actually gutsy enough to take a black bear.
What'd you do it, doctor?
With the gun, I think about it, with a bow.
It's almost 12 o'clock.
Justin, can you hear us okay?
I can. Thank you very much.
All right.
Can you hear us okay?
Absolutely, loud and clear.
This thing scares me. Intimidates me.
Very creepy. It's Fahrenheit after you're seeing that.
Yeah, I know, I don't, yeah,
Do you want me to turn it?
but I might.
All you have to do is talk.
I know.
Third.
Glad the county bought that.
I'm glad,
The IDA bought that.
I'm glad that you allowed us to put it on your table.
Touche, Chairman.
Is Joey not gonna be here?
He's not gonna be here.
He's the only one, is Mark?
Mark is not gonna be here, so we're good. Yeah, move for him, we're good. So Chris, procedural question. Once we vote on the administrative matters resolution.
Yep.
Does Keith stop voting and she starts voting?
But meetings are tough on Mondays. Well, Keith won't officially have resigned yet, though. When are you turning in your resignation?
Sorry. Saying it's effective following this.
Following the meeting.
Well, I think I said it, the administrative matters resolution. But I don't really care, one way or the other. I just wanna know who should, I just wanna know who should be voting.
I think the way Shannon set it up. To me, you could still vote. It's gonna be effective after this.
Yeah.
Right? So it's, from my perspective, it would be okay. For Keith to vote.
Officially, you would like it's starting your next year after this meeting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, you know,
So I guess-
he can move on, he can do all the heavy lifting, John.
He can.
Let's finish the meeting.
Okay.
It's today the first day of fall.
Yes, it is.
Gosh, the ball, but it's.
So Chairman, you can begin, meeting whenever you'd like. It is 12:01.
Let's wait for
Mike?
Mr. Zerlo.
Oh,
He's back.
they're trying, that's not here, they didn't want to.
Indeed, yeah. Transcribing, yeah.
Okay, are we recording?
We are.
Okay. I'll call the Clinton County Industrial Development Agency meeting to order. Declare a quorum. And waive the reading of the notice of the meeting as well as minutes. Getting motion to approve that. John, second. Keith, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Molly?
Yes, so we have two presentations today, Chairman. The first being JTCTTA, who has joined us virtually. Justin is here. And they are looking to redevelop the former Elks Lodge and use our new housing incentives to create some housing units there. It's a phased project, but I won't steal Justin's thunder. I'll let him take it away. As a reminder to my board, you get a presentation from the developer. At the next meeting, you will consider the public hearing resolution. And just gonna let Tara in, that's Justin's other half. And you'll consider the public hearing resolution at the next meeting and the approving resolution at the subsequent meeting if all those go. And if you do well. So, Justin, I'll let you take it away.
Well, members of the board and chairman of the board, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time with us today. And I wanted to apologize first. We intended to be there in person, but some travel issues got in the way. So I hope you don't mind that we've appeared here virtually. And I want to thank you for your time. As we put into the application, I'll only say a few words, and then I'm happy to answer any questions. Tara, my better half side of the family, has been in the Plattsburgh, Clinton County community for a very long time. We have targeted this application at the specific purposes that we saw in the board's recent materials around residential properties. This is a building, as you may have seen, that's a deep part of the community, and we've seen and already heard from so many people who would like it to be part of the community as something that has housing, that we can actually contribute to the historic preservation purposes that we also saw in the documents, and bringing a house back onto the tax rolls, and then also contributing via jobs initially in the construction and renovation phases, as we explore other ways we might be able to work with the community in later phases to bring additional jobs. I'd only make one or 2 points. We're not a conglomerate or a corporation. We're a family trying to do something to bring this house back onto the rolls. And so we can't really do it without some community support. And that was why we were so encouraged by some of the things we saw in the board materials. And again, we're happy to answer any questions around this residential focus. And we ourselves had seen just some of the challenges on the housing side in the area. So when we saw the study around the need to add housing in the area, we thought this aligned with it. So we're excited to work on this project with you, and I really appreciate the time and consideration that went into this. And we're happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Drew.
Mike?
Justin, Tara, thanks for joining us. My name is Mike Zerlo, and I have been a board member for a long time. I read the application, and I know, Justin, you hinted at it, but if you're able to shed a little light on what exactly the project's going to be. So on the residential side, obviously you're asking for it to be benefited under the residential section of the UTEP. But how many units, what type of units, who are they going to be rented to? I'm trying to get a feel for the project itself.
Yeah, first of all, thank you. Was that Mike that was speaking? I apologize, or I can't see last names. Normally I would address you in that way, but I apologize on the phone. So, okay. So I'm sorry to be any less than absolutely clear, but we've had access to the property, but it hasn't been in service in several years. And before it was in service, I don't know if you all are familiar with the property, but it was an Elks Club, and a lot of the normal residential parts of the building have been stripped out. So we have to get in there, and we want to add multiple units of housing in there. But part of our challenge has been it's just very bare bones at this point, and we have to assess a lot of different systems. So if you the building is, if you don't mind, I'll spend just a minute. I don't want to take too much time in the meeting. So the building has a basement area that is largely commercial. It has a main floor that has a lot of space, but it had essentially a restaurant in it. It has a second floor that it looked like they took all of the residential parts of it and stripped it down to kind of a meeting area. And then the top floor is completely vacant. Our goal would be to add multiple different housing apartment units throughout that could be added onto the rolls. But obviously, we have to get in there and see what we can do. And we've had just kind of very limited access to date. And second, obviously, we need to work with the community and the zoning board on what would be acceptable to them. So we know we can add bathrooms and different units. I think we can at least estimate between 2 and 3 right now. If we could add more than that, and it would be consistent with the way the community is comfortable with it, we would like to add more units. But we want to balance that against just being able to go talk to the community and see what they're comfortable with. It seems clear to us that the community does want the, sorry, go ahead. Yes, sorry.
Market rate, annual leases or potentially condominiumize, permanent housing, or just those are the types of questions.
Yeah, we're looking at both. Almost everything we're looking at, we're also talking to the local board and the zoning folks about what is acceptable. So I'd say we're certainly looking at the former, and we would like to do a little bit more like the latter if the community would let us. I know this is a little chicken and egg, but the scale of the project, I don't know if you've seen the building, it's just a huge old building and it has a lot of old systems in it. And so we're trying to figure out the total amount we have to invest against what the community is comfortable with, consistent with also whatever community support we have. And we've only actually been on the property 2 to 3 times because it's been completely shut off, and the current owners are very, very nice, but don't have the ability to let us onto the property a whole lot. So we have a tremendous amount of unknowns. But what you just articulated is our goal. Either multiple units or something more distinct if we can do it consistent with what the community would allow us to do.
Was there conversation in the narrative about some sort of a mixed use or some entertainment venue type? I know I'm asking the same questions. You're going to say we'd love to consider that, but I mean, are you still going to use like the banquet hall to host? You envision hosting events, or would that all be turned into residential? There's no wrong answer. Just want to know.
No, and I'm telling you totally transparently, the current zoning has a special permit on there, but we have to work. I know you could probably hear this in our voice. Our goal is to do something that brings maximum use to the folks in Plattsburgh and in the county. And that means we have to have an open narrative and a conversation with the community. Like, would they support something like this? We got married in the area, and I can tell you there aren't that many areas to have, like an event up there or even a charity event. So if that's something the community would be open to, we would explore it. If they aren't open to it, then we would explore more housing. I think we just don't know what, we're trying to be very open and just tell you it's a little bit, we have to get into the house and go talk to the community and see if they're open to us doing something like that. I think it could be a special place of adding more jobs. And I think the area is beautiful. And if you look at New York State, there just aren't many places like this, that could bring jobs like this, but we have to ask and go seek input from the community on whether they would support this. If it's not supported, then I think it would be a multi-housing thing in those areas that are currently commercial. That's certainly what we would explore.
I don't want to be the only one who talks. A couple more.
I'm sorry that I can't be more concrete, but like,
No,
we're trying to not.
I'm done that. I'm done that. Thank you.
Yep.
So.
Depends on the type of house.
Yeah, so, you've read the UTEP, I'm sure, Justin.
Yeah.
Would you be, and I see that you're seeking $200,000 estimated the tax exemption sought. Was that under the affordable housing section, market rate housing section, senior housing section? And where did you envision determining your, what?
It was on the market rate housing that we applied because that's our goal to bring this back in that way. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tara, if you, no.
Oh, you're muted, Tara.
The specific numbers, in terms of what we're seeking are really an estimate, right? In some ways we rely on you because we're looking for the pilot, and then, the estimate based on the sales tax exemption is sort of based on, well, how, much are we buying in terms of things that will, go into the renovation. So, we're also open to feedback on those numbers because it's not like a hard and fast number.
Oh, but it is, Justin answered my question. It's the application is under the market rate housing project section.
That is correct.
So,
Yep.
so for us, we're looking at a 3-year abatement here is essentially what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Right? Your tax year 1, tax year 2, tax year 3, and then roll section 1 thereafter. Okay. Secondly, I noticed, well, thirdly, seventhly, I don't know. Sorry. It looks as though itself is being financed privately. Did I read that accurately? No third party external financing?
We did take some financing for the first part. I apologize. It broke up on me just as you were beginning the question. We have some financing so far, and we're likely to get others. If you all have seen this place, it's absolutely beautiful to a certain eye, and it's got a lot of work to do, and every stone results in other stones that we're uncovering. So I have a feeling it's going to be quite a project that we're undertaking here if you've seen the building.
I have. I was a member. On page 9 of your application in the box, section 11, page 9, it reads private sector financing, and the applicant equity has numbers in it that reflect all of which I think you're estimating putting in the building.
Yes, that was our best estimate as of, as we've been applying. Every time we meet with a contractor, and if you've been in the building, you understand what I'm saying. Half the folks we're meeting with, just as a matter of color, we're members, and so they also want to try to bring the place back. So we're getting really great support from the community, but there are a lot of issues, and so I think that estimate is more than fair. I think it's likely it's going to be higher than that when we actually get into it, but that's a fair estimate, and that's not taking into account things we might do on the commercial side as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So the only other question I have is for council here. So you're off the hook. So Chris, so it looks so that this transaction, yes, it was the Elks Lodge, and when they had a charter, it was obviously tax exempt. There was since a private sale to a private equity.
Yep.
I'm assuming that these folks are buying it from those folks. The amount of taxes that the building currently generates would not be benefited with this project.
It would
It
not.
would just be, so the city of Plattsburgh is not gonna be angry that we're benefiting the entire project. They're still gonna get the baseline tax amount that currently is.
Real property tax abatement. You would, entering into a pilot, you would obtain, would be only on the improvements. So the existing property, the existing building, whatever it's assessed at right now, that stays the same, would stay the same throughout the pilot period.
So now, these folks never decided to do a project.
The unimproved property, correct.
Thank you.
Anybody else have?
So I'm not a question, but, and I hear your passion, so don't take my questions as not understanding the desire to do anything here. I just, from my perspective, the quicker and the more answers you get and you understand what your actual project how it begins to take shape, the quicker you get that information to Molly and then to the board would be appreciated.
That is more than reasonable, and we will do that. We'll keep updating Molly and the board as we get estimates. And I will say, if you all can recommend any contractors in the area, we're meeting with everybody. So yes, we're on it, and we will keep submitting information very regularly.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So just as a reminder to the board, so we'll contemplate a public hearing at the next meeting. I am, and you'll notice that, our council did update, the application to reflect housing incentives and green energy incentives. That you notice a few differences, that is why. I will be working on figuring out how to do a cost benefit analysis on housing. I'm going to reach out to our consultants, MRB, who created the original tool for us, to see if there's a component that they could add to the tool that I use to calculate that. Because obviously it's going to be calculated a little differently than microburn, for example. So that's our next steps for the next meeting. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks, Tara and Justin. We'll be in touch.
Thanks very much.
Thank you all
We
again.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we have a presentation from our folks here from KLM.
Thank you.
I'm just getting warmed up. Here you go.
All right.
You got a preview. You got a preview.
We did. I noticed you had a map there or a chart of something, so.
Yeah, my wife's got,
If you more than want, if you do want to stick that up there, that's certainly available.
she's got copies
Oh, okay.
individually, you guys
Just
can
this
look.
or just the red
Okay,
plan?
sure.
I'm not sure, was shared, but I think out, this is an example of what the building, finished building would look like. There are 3 buildings on the property. That's true. We can share. If you just let them know.
Public scientist.
This one is again. All right, so, we are KLM Development. Kim and I are both from the area, both grew up in Plattsburgh. We've been building homes and apartments, in the city. We currently, rent and build, how many units do we have in the city?
Just kind of sitting between our business and our personal.
So this is a property we purchased last year on Hamilton Street. So there was an existing house on Hamilton that was built in 1935. So we've been renovating the existing house for the past 8 or 9 months now. That's been a major project. I don't think any of you guys have driven by, but it's finally starting to come together. We've done an incredible amount of work, and we've converted that into 2 brand new nice units. We went through the whole property and right down to the studs and brought it up to energy stacks. The whole units. So the second part of our plan here would be to add 6 more units. Each
on the property. We received all our approvals from the city of Plattsburgh. We had to get a variance for multiple buildings on a single property. Was that the only other variance?
That's the only variance.
No setback issues on the,
No. But then we went through planning board, we applied in April, and we just received approvals a couple weeks ago. So, the reason we came up with this configuration was it kind of, well, Kim's the designer and architect. I do the building and she does the design. We felt it kind of broke down the scale of the, property into individual units. Now, everybody has an N unit townhouse, basically. So we rent apartments in the city and we feel there'd be very strong demand for these townhouse style units. I guess we would refer to them as, we're gonna be renting them as market rate, townhouses. But these would be geared towards, I mean, families or couples. You guys can see the layouts there. We do a lot of nice finishes, granite countertops, custom cabinets, walk-in showers. And we like the location of the property. It's close to downtown. But as it sits now, we've incurred some additional costs going through planning. We got whacked with that. There's a lot of engineering and surveying and, so right now we're kind of on hold. We're gonna wait to see what happens with interest rates. We just had a couple of loans roll over and actually in the past week that went from 3.75, we had 5 years ago, up to 6.25. So obviously our costs of borrowing have gone up considerably. So we do have all our approvals and we're looking to move forward, but we're looking to get a little bit of assistance in terms of building these next units in the next phase of our development.
so absent IDA benefit, it's unlikely that the project.
We're just gonna put it on hold for now. Yeah, the house is, if you know, cost twice as much, took twice as long. So I'm hoping rates are gonna go down in the next, but who knows?
So if the IDA, and it's a great project, bro.
Sure.
If the IDA, approves this in their normal order of business, are you still, project is still determinant upon interest rates, or would that be enough?
No, we would be moving forward. Yeah, so we'd probably be breaking ground depending upon late fall or early spring. We would move forward. Now, we want to go, but on the other hand, you know, we've incurred, you know, some substantial.
How did you hear about the addition to the uniform tax exempt policy to include residential projects?
I don't recall, it was the spring. I saw it online or it was an article in the paper. So, and then I went to a website and went to do it that way.
So we made the right decision to include that?
Yes, well, I think it makes sense because if you're looking to increase, development commercially in the city, you do need housing. And obviously your recent studies show that as well. Maybe that's how I saw it as well. And of course, very nice quality units in our downtown, walkability, lake access,
Bumble busters.
Yeah.
So again, to the similar question that I asked the previous project, Christopher, we'd be benefiting the 3 new duplex units and the taxes associated with the current property would remain to the city, county, school district, correct?
If we enter into a pilot agreement, that would be correct.
You guys
Comfortable with that.
comfortable understand.
Absolutely, right, yeah.
This part of the property is vacant anyway, right? Yeah.
There would probably be, I don't know what the county assessor will do. We've obviously.
City assessor.
City assessor,
What happens in
Works
the
for the
county?
county.
Very touchy subject. around here.
Yeah, we just put that to bed.
Okay. On that house. Obviously, we've made some substantial improvements. I'm guessing he would probably be increasing our assessment on the existing duplex as it is now, so that would,
That's right, that's a you issue, right?
yeah, that's right.
I mean, I'm not trying to do that. That's a normal SOP.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, we're very happy. We've gone through.
Who are your neighbors there? Are there any, I mean, obviously you've got all the approvals from the city planning, zoning and everything. Was there any people against the project that?
I would against, the folks in the back, Wayne and Heidi Wilkins, they had some concerns about, the trees that have been over. We're gonna put in a new fence all along the back here to give them some privacy from us. And then they had an issue, their sewer line actually runs through our property down between the carriage house and our house, we think. So we offered to relocate their sewer and then tie it into our new sewer main going down into here. They had a break a couple of years ago. He's trying to talk me into helping him run the rest of his sewer. But I offered to put all new sewer, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet onto his property. That way he's brand new. We have an easement agreement drawn up. We haven't signed that with him yet. Yes, next door, is, I don't know if you guys know Don Lehman, been, in the community forever. Don. We speak regularly. He hasn't had too many concerns. Maybe we're gonna work together, some really overgrown, box elder trees here. And get those out of his way there. Sorry.
I'm good, Chairman.
Be pretty straightforward.
For us, I think we're starting to see the value. I mean, obviously, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and plus question mark from the previous project. I mean, that's not gonna solve our issue, but it's very, nice to see that what we decided to do is making a little bit of difference, and I think we'll continue to make a difference in an effort to take a chunk out of our housing prices.
Yeah, and I think it's great that you folks saw it and, are in front of us. We've been encouraging this since the Prime project. And, the uproar that created. So thank you for bringing this to us.
The previous project's looking for a builder.
Thank you now.
Good.
So
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And we'll be in touch.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I think, Joey, we're here to remind you that return on investment is important. And when we talked about conducting the study, the reason we wanted to do it was that we needed to be able to benefit from this project. So we're already starting to see that. Great. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, moving on, I don't see any.
Yes, sir. The CCIDA balance sheet as of August 31st, 2025 is $99,880.51 in checking. $1,986.94 in sweep account. Income for the month, $1,500 on an IDA application. And our expenses for the month of August paid is $13,000 to Clinton County for admin. EPL Architects partial billing of $2,859.75. Corel tax accounting for $400. MRB Group CBA $1,010.75. Our credit card for our meeting expense $249. And the sweep fee for the bank, $10 for total expenses of $17,529.51. That's my report.
Move to accept, Chairman.
May I get a second? Any discussion? I do have one question, was he going to reach out to, Rel Accounting?
I have, so we were gonna ask Dave Bushy to hopefully take over. He could not do it, conflict of interest, because he does our audit, is what he told me. And nobody in his practice is taking clients right now. They're full. He did recommend somebody who used to work for him. I have reached out to her. I have not had a confirmation back yet.
So standard procedure to have,
Yes. So I have another option. We're gonna stay here. So I didn't get a price for you because he can't do it. So.
I'm glad we didn't approve it at that meeting.
Okay, first, second, any more discussion? All those in favor, to accept the treasury, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Old business.
Sorry, who seconded that?
Big,
Thank you.
Old business.
Yep, so this is just you have your board evaluations, your conflict of interest, fiduciary statements in your packet. A reminder, you have to do all three for each of the entities. So get your handwriting ready if you haven't already. But those are all in your packet to fill out. We need those by the end of the.
I know.
Keep off the
I'm done.
hook. No other old business, Chairman. So new business, first up, we have our administrative matters resolution where we appoint officers and staff. The only change that you will see there is that Keith is coming off. Christine is going on. She will also be on the finance committee, which is there. And Joey Trombley has accepted treasurer, so his name is listed there.
sorry. No,
Yes.
I would jump in on it.
Sure.
So the way Shannon set this up, it also has the approval and confirmation of agency policies.
Okay.
And talk with Mike a little bit before the meeting. I think in the past, governance committee actually met. Remember, we used to do that. They meet for a very
5
short period of
seconds.
time. Maybe,
Trent and I talked about it, so we didn't have to. So,
okay, that's fine.
are we okay
I'm
with
not
that?
bothered by it. Just.
Okay.
letting
We're
you-
okay with it?
Yes, that's fine.
Is the rest of the board okay with that? It's just approving it rather than having the governance recommend it.
Yeah.
Michael.
The governance committee wholeheartedly endorses.
One less meeting in the.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to do.
Okay, may I get a motion to approve or resolution 09-25-01, including certain administrative matters of the agency. John?
Second.
Keith? Any discussion? Roll call vote, Brett Trahan, yes. Dave Hoover?
Yes.
Mike Zerl?
Yes.
Defiant?
Yes,
Mark Letta is excused. John Van Atten
Yes.
and Joey Trombley. Motion carried.
So I think, this is like brain damage, but I think very technically, keep this off the IDA right now.
So I was right.
I think so. I'll give her credit. So,
So now she starts voting.
so.
no, I don't.
Yeah. Sorry, Keith, and we're voting.
That's fine. Pays the same.
You don't get lunch either.
Shit, at 8.
Can we play that back for posterity? He voted.
All right. So next, moving on, Chairman.
Good.
We have the ERS, sales tax and extension resolution. Andrew Selcup, the owner of ERS, gave me a call the other day, and it said that they went to use their sales tax exemption and realized it was expired. So he's coming for more. I personally, and also CDC owners, Alex and Matt, toured the property. They've made some massive improvements and structural upgrades there. They're moving Fairmos from the back side of the building into the front side of the building and have retrofit thermal system with a textile manufacturer that they're hoping is gonna go into space with Permasis now. They're kind of going back and forth between us and Messina. I don't, that's a thin down project that we had talked about ages ago. So we'll see how that works out for them, but they're hoping that that's gonna work out. But in any case, they're, you know, they have some great commercial warehouse space up there now that was not there before.
Are they asking simply to extend their current authorization, or did they want it expanded at all?
I think it's just extension
Just extended till.
because they hadn't really,
2026.
they hadn't really done any improvements until recently. It was kind of just the way it was. So now they're making those improvements. So
So the number doesn't change for their exception. It's been authorized by that.
Okay. And get a motion to approve resolution 09-25-02. A resolution authorizing the execution by the County of Clinton Industrial Development Agency of a certain modification agreement in connection with ERS Russell's Point LLC project. Dave, second.
I'll second.
John. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Dave Hoover,
Yes.
Mike Zillow.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's excused. John,
Yes.
Joey Trump is excused, and Brett Britton, yes.
first vote, Christine.
You're gonna second the motion, you have the chance.
I was going to, but figure it out. He's in slowly.
John doesn't let anybody in those anyway. He tried.
He's gotta have the word.
So next we have our North Country Chamber of Commerce annual membership dues. You have their invoice there. I need you to vote to approve it, but I do want you to have a conversation about whether you want to give them the additional 20% contribution that would up it to $288. That $48 I asked Christy Kennedy this morning what that would go to. She said the funds go to the Chamber's Foundation, which they use for seed money. Should an economic development project comes up that Gary would like support with funding. For example, when they did the new airline takeoff, the expenses that the chamber used for that came from that fund. I have no opinion one way or the
What
other.
did we do last year?
Did not do
We
it.
just paid. We didn't pay it last year. I don't think we did.
You did not.
Huh?
But it's on the invoice, so I said I would ask.
You think?
Can't vote.
I can't talk.
They
They put me on mute.
What I would say is, notwithstanding the request, I think we should stay status quo. This board does for specific purposes in addition to our dues payment.
Great.
So that's my opinion. I mean, and I think we amenable to hearing those conversations going forward as well,
On a case by case.
case by case basis.
I echo that completely. You know, we were just part of the micro bird presentation, and we were I think we were the linchpin that the thing worked, but we were presented as a very minor player.
Oh,
And, you know, any exposure we get is great. But I think we are our own entity and we ought to be in control. And then that's my
That's,
personal
yep.
opinion.
So, I guess then the motion, if somebody wanted to make a motion to the annual membership dues minus the.
I'll make the motion to pay it as, without the additional.
Okay. Second? Discussion or any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, so the next is the pilot billing agreement. As you might remember, we agreed that we would increase that fee to by $5,000 for the county. I will say, and things are going to be a lot more complicated for those pilot billing agreements with these school districts opting out. It is my personal opinion that certainly is warranted, given they are doing quite a bit extra. They did, try to break down what it is that they were doing, except then the person that was doing it sort of left that department. So I didn't follow up with them as to what they were, doing, but they did give a summary of the things that they were doing. At the Clinton County Treasurer's Office. Any questions, discussion? Okay. We can vote to agree on it.
Why is everybody stare? If I do recollect, however, the conversation when we first discussed this. And for what it's worth, I recall that prior to this increase, it hadn't been increased in many years. So
Correct.
I think that was part of the impetus behind the request.
The working out changed, but their expenses had, I think, sort of put down to.
Very good people.
You would need a first and a second.
Yes.
There's a bit of a hesitancy. May I get a motion?
Yes, I'd gladly make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
Dave. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So the next administrative service agreement, this one probably just needs some explanation. So if you read it, it looks a little different than the one you've done in the increase there of about $32,000 and an additional person. The county has decided that they would like to move forward with an individual who would mostly, about 85% of their responsibilities would be economic development focus. The county is willing to pay the salary for that. It is my hope of this board that we would actually allocate 15% of their duties to some IDA things. For example, they would do all the administrative work when the applications come in, review them, work with council to make sure they're completed. Those are things that I'm currently doing. They would prepare your cost benefit analysis. They would work with Shannon on the Grant Facilitation Corporation to help administer that. So, there's certainly, in my opinion, plenty of things that they could help me do, which would free me up to do a little bit more, less screen time work and more face-to-face work. The county knows that they have some massive properties that they have to repurpose, of which we are hopeful that those will benefit us with some pilots in the future. But in order to do that, it's going to take some significant public funding to be able to build out infrastructure to support some of those projects. So that person is primarily not writing grants for the whole county. They're specific to the economic development department and finding ways to do that. So it would be about $16,000 would be the contribution from the IDA for that person. The additional 16,000 that's in front of you is increased. My salary increase. I think retirement increase. We had a few increase. We added some additional money for travel with another person there. Things like that. We increased the postage a little bit because we're spending a little more on postage. More projects means we have more notices. So that's increase we're seeing, and I'll answer any questions, Chairman, about that or comments.
For the record, the county agreed to pay 85%. I'm just kidding. What Molly said, I just wanted to be clear.
I wore them down.
No. Look. This position is been requested in the 2026 county, which doesn't become effective until 1/1/26, assuming the county administrator and budget officer approves the request. And the legislature agrees with that recommendation. So whatever that salary is would not, and then we'd have to go through the hiring process. So it's not, this, I think at least in year one, that 15% is not even going to be 15%. Or it'll be 15% of a much smaller number.
Mike, can I ask a question for clarification? The 15% that we're contributing that also include the benefits? So this person waives their right to benefits, which may or.
Also goes way down.
Yeah.
Um,
The benefits are pretty much equal to the salary.
I do not want this board thinking the county is willing to spend 100% on an economic development position. The director of the economic development, who's also the executive director of the IDA, said, the IDA could use a piece of that position too. So, when the position itself is kind of separate from the request that's before this board. One of them is not necessarily contingent on the other.
Correct.
Does that make sense? I want everybody to understand that. There was going to be a request for that position in the budget regardless of any IDA involvement. But if that happened, the person's not going to do what Molly wants her to do for him.
So Mike, if we don't approve this, are you hiring this person?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, but for you're not going to get IDA work out of the person.
Correct.
We've come on.
Well, I'll let you and Molly work that out. I think Molly rightly so saw an opportunity to get two birds with one stone. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
And listen, it's stuff that I'm doing right now. It's whether this board wants me to continue doing it that way, that is fine. It's just, I think we would agree that maybe my talents are better used not sitting behind a screen, and perhaps getting people to be here, talking to those people and getting deals executed rather than waiting for them to come to us. So that is up to the board as to whether they want to move forward with that proposal.
Anybody else have an opinion?
I'm a big girl, you can throw it.
I personally, I think that, we have been running on a shoestring for an awful long time. I certainly have joked with Mike considerably about how much money we have to pay for all this. But, I think in order to grow, have to have help. And I think this is a great thing. Am I really happy with the amount of money we're spending? No, I'm not. But, I think in order to grow and to get Molly into a position where she's really effective, that she isn't holding everything together currently. We need more residential projects. We need more commercial projects. As she says, she shouldn't be sitting in front of a computer.
For example, I was on the agriculture tour. Yes, exactly. I was on the ag tour that Cornell puts out. We visited this grain.
Yeah, the
thing.
rain,
It had to have been a
really cool.
$20-30 million project. It's massive. It's the one up in Shazy. And I was like, that could have been an IDA project. And so I looked at the Farm Bureau folks. I said, maybe I present at one of your meetings because these are some massive projects. And yes, they get ag exemptions, but there, could be opportunities for us to help them as well. We have not generally looked at agriculture as economic development, but I think you can just drive through Shazy and see that apple orchard or Peru and all those places and know that these are some massive, massive projects. And I know that the Bilo farm that went up in just outside of Malone was an IDA project. So, there are areas that we can get into, but it makes, I have to do a little less paperwork is what it kind of comes down to.
For a long time.
So.
So you need a motion. Or if there's any other
We
discussion.
need to approve the administrative services agreement for 2026.
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Listen, I was just busting your
I
chops.
know that. That's not
I have
like
no
you.
problem with
That's
that.
not like you. I don't understand.
Our banker has no. Special.
Like I said, I will say, now this is, not like me to say. Uh,
Talk about not wanting to spend money.
exactly, but, you know, through the good work that we do collectively here, we've positioned ourselves to have these conversations. There were many years that this would have been a very quick discussion because it wouldn't have been brought up. Because we couldn't do it.
We had no money.
Yeah, we've come a long way, really have. In the, what, last 5 years?
That's how long I've been coming.
Ever since you started.
You're like, what's wrong with quarters in his eyes?
So we needed to get rid of George.
I'm the same.
For the record.
I'm just kidding.
This would be, by the way, a civil service position, and we would go out and do a search for it. There are a few people I think I have in mind that would be good at the position that are local, but I think we need to make sure that we're reaching all parts of New York State and seeing who might be out there that'd be interested with this background.
Keith Wyatt's looking for a job.
Yes.
That's the second one I've been offered this week.
So may I get a motion?
Do you have your motion?
That's your motion.
Your second?
That-
It's not just a vote.
Second over there.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Any other news?
A couple things, actually, Chairman. It will be Mr. Zerlo's last meeting as county administrator. So I will have him give you your final update on what's going on in the county.
Well, my
And
job's
it's
been,
gonna be your job.
my job's been pretty easy last 3 weeks. I just watched Christine suffer. We got a lot going on still. Obviously, we're trying, and as this board's a party to it too, we're trying to come to some sort of, agreement, not agreement, but we're some sort of, solution to the Clinton Community College property. I know our firm is trying to drill down and provide a more detailed, list of options. The county has been hearing from the homeowners associations, around the property who have been polite, but vocal. So we're trying to take their concerns under consideration. Molly continues to talk to several people about property at Seabig. Hopefully we can land somebody there. On a personal note, I know you're staying on the board, so you'll see me, but the county under my direction and has been, always saw the IDA as a development corporation. So I thank you for working with Clinton County so closely for my 24 years or so. So, and I'm happy that Keith is leaving, so I can stay, be part of this board. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll note on the county note, we just got back from the NISAC conference, which was noted in my report, but Niagara Falls had a booth there with their economic development engine and they too, I just want, every conference I go to, I see where the county and the IDA are like this. Their chamber was separate. It was just the county and the IDA and they were kind of the economic development. So it's great that we continue to foster that relationship from my perspective. So then I guess it would just be my report left, which we do have to have discussion for.
Well, certainly, I have enjoyed the relationship with Mike at the county. Very happy to have him on the board. The questions that he asked and site that he has, is, I think, instigating a whole lot of thought. I wouldn't take the silence in the room as anything other than, thanking Mike for speaking up and
Absolutely.
continuing that. So thank you very much for
And thank you.
staying
Likewise.
on.
That's the last affirmative vote you can get in an administrative agreement. though.
Well,
That was it.
We had a hard report.
I'm not aware of it, Christine. And certainly Keith, you've been great. When you go south in the winter, we miss you an awful lot. Please stay in touch.
It's say that because.
Well, dude, thank you. I've enjoyed my time on the board. I appreciate that. Wish the board nothing but a lot more success.
It's Keith's fault. He hired me.
I did. That's how
Did you
long
really?
I've been here, yes. I was legislator when we hired Mike.
Do we have to say all the nice things for Pete and at the CRC meeting and the GFC meeting? Time for me to do it.
But we do have a little something for you
Oh my God.
for your time on the board, so we appreciate it.
Thank you. I respect it. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You will be missed.
Okay.
So a couple of things to highlight in my executive director's report. I'll highlight two things and then we have a discussion that we need to have briefly, or however long you want it to be, I guess. Just as a note for our housing study, so I remember Camoin is going to come. I sent you some of those proposals. Camoin will be back in our October meeting. I can resend those to you again if you wanted to take a look at them. I didn't want them to come today because we had enough on our plate. And so we'll consider if we wanted to move forward with that. I will let you know that I was approached by Lake Champlain, Lake George Regional Planning Board to have the county apply for a grant through DEC to basically do not feasibility, but sort of on what infrastructure would need to be had on the property identified in our study on the Nashville Road. The reason that property is what we selected is because these funds are specific to APA properties, and the Nashville Road is in the APA. So there aren't very many projects probably going in there, including housing. So we think we have a really strong chance of getting that money, and we would work with Lake Champlain, Lake George Regional Planning Board to execute that grant. But I know it's not funneling through us. However, I thought it was poignant for you to know, given that it was our study, and it's nice to see that move on some of the properties we identified. Also, Manufacturing Day with TDC continues to move forward. I think I had mentioned it the last time. We're going to focus younger students, the actual day itself. And there's a second component where they're using older students that will be going to places like Beta, Michelin, those types of places, and they'll be doing a 6-week curriculum with them. And the students will have to put on the tables on behalf of the company representative that day to interest students, the 8th graders that will be attending. As I mentioned last time, they may be seeking a little bit of seed funding for that. The chamber has some money. Felicia Nair, can't remember which one she's a part of.
WDI.
Thank you. WDI might have a little funding as well. So I told them to figure out what, come back to us and see if there's still a shortfall. These would be for things like materials for the students to put those booths together, maybe lunch for the students. So little things that we don't want to have the students have to pay out of pocket for. On that note, just if you are unaware, there's been a change with the NAMTrans director. Joel Wood has stepped down, and Brandon Menard has been appointed into that slot. So just in case, he's very involved in the Manufacturing Day. So yeah, big news we hadn't. The discussion that we need to have is that you'll note in my report that I mentioned Invenergy and the status of their project. Chris and I have had a discussion. Company has approached me. AES they want to close like yesterday. The problem they're having is not exactly doesn't have proposals in place that would support what they're trying to accomplish. New York State does. The viability of the project in the end. Chris, I don't know if you want to talk about what we did with Chippy, so you can kind of give some framework.
So I guess So AES obviously doesn't want to pay the full IDA's fee if the project just explodes and doesn't happen. So, and Chippy, which we'll all recall was the power line that went down the side of New York State. In that case, because the fee was also large, we did it so the IDA got 25% of their admin fee at what we call kind of a quasi closing. The documents were all buttoned up, put on a shelf. 6 months later, Chippy got their bank financing. Technically then closed the transaction, the documents went into effect, and the IDA got their 75% of the remainder of their fee after. Idea is to do similar setup for those transactions where the IDA would get a portion of its fee at the closing. Project was viable, the IDA would get the remainder of their, 25% instead of, that's just get it.
Yep. It's, and it was a brief conversation I had with Eric. I said, listen, I don't need to speak as the war, but getting completion, we want to be paid. I certainly would rather get something rather than nothing. We didn't
That
talk
25%
specific
is
numbers.
non-refundable.
We
So-
didn't numbers.
No, but
Right.
if you do want to talk about numbers, I think you need to be consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
So they gave the 25%, that's the IDA's money. We make sure that was.
It's helpful for me that you guys set that precedent because now I can go back to them and say, look, this is what we did before. Is that something your investors are willing to live with?
Sorry, we represent a bunch of IDAs on that Chippy transaction all along. And they had similar funding arrangements, so.
Yep.
It's pretty standard.
What would 25% of that be? Did that project total change? Was it 360, 400 million, something like that?
Each of them. So your fee is somewhere around $8 million.
25% is better than nothing.
Well, you're gonna get you essentially, you're guaranteeing you 25% of what the fee would have been. I mean, it's essentially a cash flow issue.
So our project.
It allows them to close or quasi close. But it guarantees us at least 25% of the fee. With the hope and understanding that once everything is in order, is viable, you're gonna get the remainder. I don't see a downside. You could wait and maybe get 100% of the fee.
Or nothing.
It's bad. He's shutting the offshore wind right down, so there's stuff that's 3/4 done and they pulled them right off the derricks and stuff out there like this.
So I'm happy, I'm happy to get on a call with
Yeah.
Eric Will and talk to him
Yep.
about this, obviously.
I think it's important that we stay consistent. If these large projects, if these situations arise in these large projects, shouldn't be SOP, by the way. Little projects should close 100% normal stuff.
Right.
But you don't wanna, you wanna create a consistent
Yep.
model, just like we did with the wind pilots.
Yeah.
You don't wanna treat you guy any different than a conversation you had previously.
We'll have to, create a threshold. So people, be consistent,
Define large, right?
right?
That's interesting, yeah. In other words, we do this process, this procedure only on.
Right.
Projects of X size.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can look at that. Yeah, and I mean, in fairness to them, it's like, listen, I can't give you $8 million and then 5 years down the road, we can't build this. My investor never go for that. So I can understand that.
I'll let them know that the lawyers get paid.
Yeah, and you say the lawyer fees, don't worry, we got that covered.
Sure.
Irony.
So that's what we'll do, and that's what we'll do moving forward. So,
Sure.
so just a couple other things, guys. So you helped pay for that Viewpoint video that, we had come up here for the Dennis Quaid show. It has been completed, so I have it for you. Sorry.
This is the eastern area of New York State, with its northern border touching the Bed Canyon, and its eastern edge leading at night. Could we
Picture of Mike.
versus the saying the whole pristine lakes, and scenic views of the Adirondack Mountains, and shit. Steeped in rich history and home to beautiful historical landmarks, Clinton County is a unique destination. Agricultural valleys, vibrant small towns, and border communities come together to blend natural beauty with a strong sense of community and economic potential.
Clinton County have a perfect balance between scenic beauty, outdoor adventure, and small town.
Location, location, and location. We are uniquely situated directly between Montreal, Quebec, and Canada, and New York City. We also have easy access to urban areas right here. We have the city of Plattsburgh. It's affordable living. It is lots of recreational opportunities for families.
And we are fortunate to be home of many lakes, rivers, trails, skiing activity, fishing activity, boating activity. We are the home of Lake Champlain, the 8th largest natural waterway in the United States, recognized as one of the best bass fisheries. We are the home of, believe it or not, the largest McIntosh apple orchard in the entire world. We played a vital role in the history of the nation.
Not that
both in
one,
the American Revolution.
It's actually a different one.
War 1812, the home of many battle sites that would provide wonderful opportunities for families recreating in Clinton County.
Clinton County combines their supportive, close-knit community with robust economic opportunity, offering a unique blend of thriving industries and strong educational partnerships. This dynamic environment empowers residents with rewarding careers while shaping a resilient, inclusive future that benefits all who live and work here.
In Clinton County, we have several institutions of higher learning, starting with our local community college, our state university, as well as many local regional partnerships with high-tech universities. This in turn allows phenomenal opportunities for workforce partnerships. So folks graduate from these universities and trades and workforce immediately.
What is fantastic about Clinton County is that we are such a melting pot of business types. We have projects here. We have manufacturing. We have a transportation manufacturing cluster, businesses in the aerospace industry. And what we do is we really work with diverse businesses and meet them where they're at rather than waiting for them to come to us. So making sure they have all the resources they need to succeed, giving them financial incentives that they can be profitable, and making sure that the residents also have access to these industries.
At our local community college, IAM, Institute of Advanced Manufacturing. At the IAM, we are able to adapt to the needs of our local workforce, that we can provide them the training that they need in their specific industries. Clinton County has taken the active sites such as the Clinton Industrial Business Development Park. So we want to make ourselves ready to house industries that are looking for fully infrastructure property to develop their businesses. In county, we are fortunate to have a full-service hospital right in the center city, part of the University of Vermont healthcare system, Champlain Valley Physicians Hospital. Having CVH in ensures accessible healthcare, workforce wellness, and strengthens the overall quality of healthcare. We're strategically located on the north-south border from Montreal, Quebec, all the way down to New York City. We also have an east-west corridor, which will provide opportunities for folks to get to Boston, Massachusetts. We are the owners and operators of a fully serviceable international airport, provides businesses the opportunity to travel both domestically and internationally. So we provide businesses the opportunity to ship their goods with ease. We would like to have all in the world operate out of Clinton County. We have a robust economic development arm within the county called the Clinton County Industrial Development Agency. That entity is able to provide tax incentives and other business incentives to attract businesses that have opportunities throughout the entire country.
Whether you're inspired by scenic lake shape, the strong sense of community, or a diverse range of business and career opportunities, Clinton County invites you to be part of its growing story. As Snowden, North Country, this remarkable region offers natural beauty, cross-border access, and an exceptional aimed by strategic partnerships and a shared commitment to a bright, inclusive future.
Clinton County, we take pride in the fact that we build partnerships better than anybody else.
We work really well with the businesses that are here to help them get the tools that they need for expansion. We have so many businesses already here that are on the brink of major expansions every day. And so we can provide them opportunities that they need to do that.
We are excellent in bringing the community together to attract business. Chamber of Commerce, county's Office of Economic Development, our state elected leaders, our local real estate and attorneys and tax professionals, we ensure that we make people feel like this is their home.
What an ending.
Clinton County, our door is always open. To learn more, visit ClintonCountyIDA.com.
How about that?
Good turn. Very good.
Well done.
So just a quick question. I need an approval, voice vote is fine. They also have off footage to us, which Boyer Benner could utilize going forward. Of course, there's a fee for them to give us our raw footage. It's $950. Boyer Benner is willing to split that cost with us. I tried to say, you know, you guys are the ones that want it. And they're like, yeah, but you're the ones that need it. So, would the board be okay with splitting that cost?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
I would too. I mean, are they gonna use it on our project or everybody's project?
I will ask that question.
Well, well,
In fairness, some of the footage you see there, was paid for by the town of Champlain. And some of the footage you see there was paid for by the chamber.
so
So-
who owns footage?
I think. Good question. I don't know if it'd be us or Benner. I guess both of us, because we're both paying for it.
Should find that out.
Yeah, I will.
You did find that.
Okay. Because if we own it, they would need to come to us to say this person is using
Right.
this. Is that okay? Yeah, I will get that clarification and let the board know. That's it, Chairman. I just want to remind everybody to please fill out your paperwork before you leave it. So IDA, now we have to convene the CRC and the GFC. Which is the
You
point.
got a first and a second on this. We didn't get it.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Uh,
Good
I
catch.
got the first.
Yep.
I second.
One second.
John. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we adjourn this meeting, I do have one question. On social media, I've been seeing this video of these towers being blown up in someplace in New
Oh,
York.
Madison County.
That, right. How, I mean, because they're obsolete.
Oh,
That, technically, that's what's gonna happen to the ones here.
So
Will people-
I do know that in our original Noble pilots, which were the ones that are being decommissioned,
Yes.
we did put, there was decommission money in that, so that's, Chris, I believe that's all accounted for in the original documents that the company pays for that and
I
cleans
have
it
to
up.
go back and look, Mike, because I think that's a relatively new concept, but it might have been during the original set. The concept that you're talking about is, in other words, the town is not on the hook for nobody costs, so they blow it up and they just leave it. I mean, not the applicant's responsible.
Correct. And that's in those documents. If you could maybe find them and ship them to us for the laws and
Confirm that, yep.
so it wasn't a nefarious act. It was,
No, I wasn't suggesting that. I just wondered whether it was just because those towers were obsolete and they were going to build new ones, or
I do not believe they're building any new ones in Madison County. Chris, you don't know who represents them, do you?
so the
Well, you
wind,
represent the Madison County.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
wind isn't effective down there.
the last I heard, they a few years ago came to the idea, we're talking about expanding that process, putting it, it's the same concept that we're seeing in Clinton County, in other words, bigger turbines, bigger everything.
Yeah,
And nothing came of it.
so our wind is far better than ours.
yeah.
No, yeah, and it's not all hot either.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you for the question.
Anything else for this meeting? If not, may I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Dave, second, Mike, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Chris, do we have a forum if I leave? I have a.
Yes, you do. Yep.
You do, Mike. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hey,
ERC is up, Chairman.
I'll call the Clinton County Capital Resource Corporation meeting to order. Declare a quorum, waive the reading of the notice of the meeting and the minutes, and getting them from the approval. First, second, Dave. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No public comment. Treasurer's report. Joey's not.
Oh, Joey's not here. Well, wait a second.
Well, we didn't change it yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he's still the treasurer of the CRC.
Still Keith.
Yeah. Yeah, Keith, you're back up.
The next.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was waiting to hear.
I was ready.
Okay, the CCCRC Treasurer's Report. The organization received $100 from NFI and $1,250 from Sean Beck for foreign trade zone fees. And $191.31 in the month of August. That's my report. No expenses, sorry.
Are there any questions for Keith? And getting motion to approve the credit report. Christine?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
Keith,
I'm bad.
Can I ask a question? though? Just kind of. So just, you know, our last meeting was on May 12th. Treasurer's report was just for August. Shouldn't we have a treasurer's report from the last meeting? Well,
Yeah.
they're on file. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'm sure it's just as small, but I think when we do them in the future, they should be from the last meeting. to this
Okay,
meeting.
yep. We'll add that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we need to then approve that at a subsequent meeting?
Chris.
We could.
We've been doing it the other way for a long time. I just thought of it and I said, you know, we really haven't.
At the next meeting, Chair, we can approve them once we turn the last meeting. This meeting, that's not a problem.
Okay.
First and second.
Yeah, section.
Keith, any discussion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business?
None, Chairman. Just the tier board evaluations need to be done. Again.
New business.
You have the administrative matters resolution, which will be appointing officers and staff, the same changes as the IDA. Chris, I don't know if they're, okay.
So may I get a motion to approve resolution number 09-25-03, a resolution approving certain appointments and administrative matters of the corporation.
This will be my last one.
Mhm.
No, you got.
You got one more.
You got one more.
We're still patient.
So we've got a first, Dave second. Any discussion? Roll call votes. Zerlo is excused. Keith Defiant,
Yes.
Webb is excused. John,
Yes.
Joey is excused. Trina, yes. And Dave Didgeon.
Yes.
Just a note, Chairman. So that, actually, this worked out well that he left. So Chris and I have been having a discussion. Mike is very insistent that he does not want to do a big, huge party. But we would like to do something for him at the county level, and, given his long tenure on the IDA, we were gonna plan a small dinner party, at Fork and Knife, and the IDA, of course, other members invited. But Chris and I were hopeful that we could pull that. I was hopeful, and Chris said it was okay, that we would pull that from the CRC, if that's okay, because government funds cannot use for something. Didn't want to invite people and ask them to have to pay for something. So would that be amenable to this board?
I'm okay with that.
Professional services, I think we call it. So, all right, great.
So we're gonna have rack of lamb.
What do we decide, Tony?
Because
We're doing beef and some kind of beef and chicken, and then there's a vegetarian option, a vegan option as well. But there's appetizers and it's gonna be a lovely, Fork and Knife always does a wonderful.
those of us who used to attend the annual meetings at Anthony's.
Yes,
Like,
I'm looking at bringing that back.
I'd be like,
I'm looking at bringing it back.
For the annual meeting, it should be.
I agree with you, John. I agree with
It's a long meeting.
yeah, it is. Gotta really feed us.
you. Yes. So don't worry, I'm available. But I think it's on, what did it say, like Weed Street or something? Where is it? It's a weird place. Durkee Street. It's on Durkee Street. I'll send, you guys will all get the information.
I thought.
It's gonna be October 2nd, but we will send you more information.
Better have council presence for that, I'm thinking.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
any other business for this, see? If not, may I get a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion.
John,
Second.
Dave, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried.
One more.
Right.
Call the Clinton County grant facilitation operation meeting to order. Declare a quorum, waive the reading of the minutes
Is it?
as well as notice, and ask for any motion to approve.
Make the motion.
John, second. Dave. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No public comment. We don't have a treasury report for this.
No, doesn't have any.
Old, business, we've got, board evaluations.
Correct.
and New business. Administrative matters.
This will be all, and the same changes that have been made to the CRC and IDA will apply to the Grant Facilitation Corporation.
So may I get a motion to approve resolution number 09-25-04, a resolution approving certain appointments and administrative matters of the corporation. Okay, second. Team, discussion. Let's see, call the vote, Keith,
Yes.
let us excuse John Burnett,
Yes.
Joey Trumbull is excused, Fred yes, Dave Regan,
Yes.
and Mike. Motion carries. Is there any other business? And then motion to adjourn. There you go.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Any, discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.